First of all, I just want to set some boundaries and just let you know that this is a project that we are doing for one of our clients, so it's really important. And we want to put forward to the client the best possible ideas. But we're taking a risk here. We're going to give it to you to work on, because we want to see, first of all, what you're capable of, what ideas you come up with, and the approach that you take. The client is basically a drinks company based in Wales called Elan Valley. So what they're looking for is botanically infused tonic water. So they are a small, high-end, expensive, boutique-style drinks company, and they specialise normally in creating gins, so flavoured gins, but they want to have tonic water now that goes with it, so that they can increase their product range and obviously attract not just drinkers of alcoholic products, but also non-alcoholic sort of drinkers. So because the tonic water is high-end and expensive and bespoke, they're going to attract a certain type of customer. So think about the type of person that would buy this tonic water and what is going to appeal to them. There are a couple of things that we need you to start looking at. So first of all, we want you to research into the area, what comes out of the area. Are there any things, any landmarks in the area that could influence the design of what's created? So the requirements are a logo. So you need to come up with a logo for this tonic water and a strap line. Then you need to create an advert. So design an advert to basically attract this audience that we're talking about. We need you to look at the design of a bottle. We don't want you to create the design, we just want you to look for ideas for the design of a bottle. And then also what label would go on that bottle, bearing in mind what your logo looks like and what your advert looks like. Then the label on the bottle will also need to look consistent and of the same sort of theme. And then a presentation box to put it in, because you know, like sometimes you see sort of ports and expensive drinks presented in boxes. Champagne often is presented in boxes, so they want to put their tonic water into boxes. The next thing you'll need to look at is the competitors in the area. So the competitors, there'll be more, but just to give you some examples, so the competitors in the tonic water industry are Fever Tree, Schweppes, Fentimans, and the London Essence Company. But remember that you can also take inspiration from the gin and vodka market. So look at, so there's some Welsh gins, Aberfalls, there's one called Gin Mare, there's one called In the Welsh Wind, have a little look at those. And then vodkas, look at Absolute, the way that that bottle is presented. AU Vodka in the gold presentation, look at a distinct brand. Grey Goose, and of course Smirnoff. So have a little look at the way that other brands present their bottles. Now this is not an alcoholic bottle, remember, it is a tonic water, so it may have a slightly different feel to their gins, but it's the tonic water that we are looking to create a brand for, and all these elements.
Hello everyone, my name is Alpha, and I'm just going to go through the work that I contributed in for this Elan Valley project. So to complete this project, we all assigned ourselves different roles to make sure each of us had a goal and were able to design part of the final product. My main role was to do the packaging design. So I was inspired by a bottle design that I saw on Adobe stock, and I tried to recreate it but give it a little twist that will suit our branding and the type of bottle that we want to use for this product. So this is work that we had to do beforehand. It's a little write-up about Rachel. So I had to write about who she is, what she does, and a little bit about her background. and I had to add some additional screenshots. As you can see, that's a screenshot for our Maro board, and I had to come up with a smart target for our Elan Valley product. So we use multiple digital platforms to collaborate. Teams was one of them, and we used it a lot to communicate, keep each other up to date, make sure everyone is on track, and send out ideas. Also, if I found something that could be helpful for somebody else, I would just drop it in the chat. So basically everything was in the chat, design ideas, branding, feedback, and research on competitors, marketing, and that's what we use Teams for. So we use the software Maro for our mood board, and basically everything that Rachel told us during the brief and the feedback that she gave us after the first meeting was added in this. So we looked at logo ideas, different types of bottles. I did some research on packaging design and looking at what the competitors were using. We also looked at the branding and how we're gonna label the product. And if we had any drafts, we would just send it in and add it as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
You go first.
Yeah. Good work. I think that it's come on since we chatted. We were looking at white labels when we had that time, so of course, you know, that's developed. Are you the group that I said to go and draw the logo quickly?
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
So we
You did it?
We
Excellent.
did do it, yeah.
Yeah, I said for them to go back to the classroom and just get a pen out and just draw their interpretation of that, of the dome sort of shape.
It looks great. It's really playful,
Yeah.
which is like contrasts against the target market, which is really nice. Really nice.
I really like the design of the slides. Who put the slides together?
Davey.
Nice. I like the little flourishes on the sides, very much in keeping with the sort of whole feel of the brand, which is really nice. And that's something to bear in mind as well, as if you are presenting ideas to clients, don't just think about the concepts themselves, but think about the surrounding sort of design of the presentation or the video or the background, or you know, anything that you can sort of use to help sort of set the scene. I'd written down, I like the way that you thought about the cut lines and the sort of where the glue would be, I suppose, on the box, or the fold lines, and also bleed, because those are things as a designer that you're going to need to bear in mind if you are ever working on packaging. I put the logo on that box though, the logo's not there, so get that on there, because I think it was missing that. I think that would be good to add, and there's plenty of space obviously to add that. I just think that it would have been nice maybe to sort of see your final colour palette, and you might touch on that in a moment, Rian, but it would have been nice to have a slide with some of the colour palettes, your final decisions. And we've said this to a couple of the other groups that, you know, you were actually the only group that had the final logo presented in all its glory, nice and simply on a screen, because the whole presentation needs to follow a bit of a story, and yours actually is probably the closest to the story that we wanted. So you've got obviously the brief right at the beginning, you've got your team roles, you'd expect to hear about that up front. Then it's your interpretation about it, you know, the logo design, the sort of, you know, the packaging and all your thoughts around that, and then show us all the final packaging, the final label and the final logo at the end of the presentation. So that is exactly the right sequence of a sort of a pitch presentation or a presentation to a client showing a you know, sort of concept. So I think that you've done really well there.
I love your first screen. Go back to your first screen for me.
The flowers.
Yeah, that already you get excited by what you're going to see. So I think you absolutely nailed that. First screen is great. Did you do any of the drawing of those flowers?
No, I don't think we
Okay.
did, no.
If any of you are any good at painting or illustrating or anything like that, I think that would be a hell of an enhancement to this, is if you could put pen to paper and come up with it. Yours little drawing of the Elan Valley
Yeah.
tower. If you can do that, you can do
that.
a really cool yeah, even if you simplify them, doesn't have to be that much detail.
Okay.
And that would just make it so much more unique to you. So
So there's that slide, on some of the slides, you've got like that little black flourish that comes in from the corner.
Yeah.
I think it's, where is it? Like, oh, that's in white
Yeah.
there. But
There
then
is
you've
a black
got,
one
you've got it in
somewhere.
black
That one,
somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, there.
I love that.
Like, you could have
Yeah,
drawn
100%.
something and to sort of go there instead of using something like, you know, obviously off from Canva. So anything unique that you can throw into it just makes it stand out
Yeah.
more, doesn't it?
Go to slide 5. All of that stuff moving around is amazing. Like, it just keeps the viewer engaged the whole time, basically. So the more that stuff you can put in, you've got to be a little bit controlled with it. But I think you've done it really well there. Love the sketch feel. It's really simple and it's really playful, and it just contradicts the target market, which I think is really important, because it makes you think, oh, what's this one? You know, we've seen all these, but what's this new one that's out? So I think that's cool. Packaging looks great. Like, I really love the way you come up with the box and how all that will work. What I do think would be nice is if you could just jump onto something like a free mock-up site, download a PSD file, overlay your artwork, all of a sudden you've got this made-up mock-up. And if you were in the alcohol aisles, take a picture of the alcohol aisles with everything lined up, stick yours in there.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
to make it look as if it's real, this exists. You know, and I think that you've got a great presentation there.
The
Really
adverts are
good.
lovely as well.
Yeah.
Go to slide 7, let's have a quick look at that
Yeah,
again.
it looks amazing.
Yeah, we just want to taste it, don't you?
Yeah.
You know that's cold, ice
Yeah.
cold. You know, it's going to be fresh, isn't it? You know, so I mean, you use really good use of imagery on that, I think, as well. And the fact that you've thought about, you know, just the text, the short little snippets of text that would go with it, you know, sort of on Facebook. You know, it's that thing that's going to capture that audience, that slightly older audience, isn't it, that are going to be on Facebook. So, yeah, good job.
Strapline's great.
Yeah,
It's fun.
yeah.
It's great.
Thank you.
You know, I imagine walking into Gin and Juice in Mumbles
Mm.
and seeing a poster like that behind the bar. I think it's really real. It feels really real.
Mm.
It's good. Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.